candidate and the two political party candidates. They have already filed in their nominations, and now we are waiting for the last independent aspirant to of course to file in his nominations. And Binta, we are back, and we should be, let's go straight to the IEC and talk to Nene Bojang. He is live on the line.
Okay, Nene, welcome back. Then Barra back and Bafule ko welcome back. Nene, mudewe kerinje sign tentimbe nyintuma lamindu.
Baraka Pake, thank you very much, Binta Jallo and then Amadou Kante, Allah doku nyima studio kono je. Ntelmi yalongo mbe AIC la bombaro yandam yalongo wala marra carte fay wonin carte Kenya la banko kan wala bombati Gambia be kam jibe ni watolo Gambia be kam lammo ni tembenna. Binta ngaji be janne mi yalonko minketa mo sabanjonte minketa Dr. Ismaila Cissé tumo na fanana dala bankero di katandi ko afana molete miyanko 2021 ay simfa tale pour ka banko nyini Gambia dingol bolo kono mi yalonko gammeno lanno sotolo anin ye jenya jala mi yalonko ko atesa kenan mota mimba Gambia sambanno ka bonde fannado la ka samba fannado fanala waya sabule afana kata sula kuote pour ka dabula mol kono pour ka banko nyini gammeno bulo kono tumo minna Dr. Cissé nato underground dang ay fana banke anin media fana mi yanko le kete kibar bungola fannati ni ngarin jabir bo kam min keta wote mi yaaji nin kamin ka tandi ko ela man sakunda do hamoni dino min te wala nen ko ni sita sidan kay ba munne mun kala ay min konti wala siatale bari nga fole ko nim politician wote ma babe ni diamta e kanale ni diamola wala na commune donc lala ka fanya min jannim politiko diamo after politiko diamo bari atela miro to ko itel takel wo sifa dolti ay wo fole ka tandi ko mi yalon ko Gambia man jaral kendo la soto borol man soto anyama wonin domoro la fannala wonin seno la fannala wonin fenjama atandi ko fana josa do kulal mi am ko be Gambia banko kan mi lam ko biga jobe to fon sotno e bike fon taranno andum Gambia nyanta kam mom million wonni lul ne ngosotole sanji jama nyaato so akoni Gambia futolo tembola wo ba kala kulate mi yalon ko ba milde fon sammano sang nin Gambia la huto futaro fannala wo ba kala masi bakata wonte pour Gambia te fon so bala ko ko le fanna balaka de Gambia te fon sambal no woto bari ate aje ko ala jero na la jibero atela moti mi yalon ko asa Gambia bonnino Kenya do ta nin ka samba Kenya dato Kenya mi on ka ba kala nyontan Kenya te Dr. Cissé Jamo ni banke jaber nin ka refana kala ni molte ma mi yalon ko ka tande ko science tenting APRC anim parti dol mi lata nyokan fo ita fana ngalon ne ko e ko ale sono kala mi yalon ko enim parti dol le lata nyokan ha parti anin dol lata nyokan ne bare mi yalon ko dol ye kungo bole ba dol fana bi je mi ko this moment right now ni wolba kanne bare ba mi tandila gammeno wolen ko atem jikela molti mi yalon ko to momina mol bulata no manam mo tema bale bulata fana no manam mi da mo kemeke mol safuna fana mo wulo sile wol fana na dan pour ka je ko itele tunko ne lankene asro minno anin jiko anin balafa mesa Gambia sambano wolon Dr. Ismaila Cissé wala kada nyini kan jabira Binta ala baraka studio ko
Nene na moyle fanan ay comme ya fa nyami ay do ku fo aning education aning silol la karola healthcare system aning courant la karola fay ma mira ko wato be nka politician no moyle kan nyul cool be outline ka fo moyle ko ba kelale at the end of the day ni nata akake different thing ti fay ma mira ko nyim fanan se keno another situation ti
okay, at this moment right now, candidate for Nafela Futare, but Jabiro Minti Woleniku, Iterki Diamoleke, but Baro Nifro air conditional kono, Bumba Katankono, Ikanina Mola do Kulare, politician Jama Baraka, bring Mamol Jamano, politician of Mania, Nanaton call Nick Sambadamento, Nahamon Dino, Pre and Sambadamento, Ikadasa Jelal, Ikakamuna Nabala Kude, Bikakanya Simbala Kudeti, Abuton Pinta or Jabirot, politician do for Nafela Minka Mamma Batuti, Afladunda by Econo Santang, and then IEC, Purka IEC La Simpania Tandala, Katandala con Deso de Nebulo, Pura Muda, Fintin, Tandim Molako, Afana Buralo Molcono, Pur IEC Batandela Gamenoko, Mamma Fana Molte. Miyanko nsonta nga dunyo sola ko afana nga minyen nga bulo ko na dim molal afra saba kaf nga molnyel pour ko Gambien wala mo mo ba tuti.
All right, Barka, thank you very much. Nene Bojante. And well, as he just mentioned, that's Mohamed Batu have just arrived at the IEC, of course, desk. So you can see they are praying there. And so we wouldn't want to waste much time. We want to link you straight to the Independent Electoral Commission desk and led by the chairman, Ali Mohamed Jai. So let's join and listen.
We are here for examination and you are required to submit your documents. Can we have them, please?
Watching us, you're watching the 2021 nominations happening live from the election house. That's the fourth candidate here for his nominations with the IEC nomination team. Currently, that is what is happening here live after the sudden It was Dr. Ismail Sise who was here, but now it's Momodu Ba submitting his documents to the IEC for his nomination.
Deposit. Your color. What's the color of this? What's the name?
This is a universal color.
What?
A universal color.
It doesn't have a name? You want to forget the name?
This is light blue.
Light grey.
But it's repeated.
Can you put it on paper and give it to us later? Whilst he's doing the receipt, I take it that you are Mamadou. M-A-M. So what we had was Mamadou. This is why we say Mamadou too. Now we are correcting it and say Mamadou Ba. Okay. So it's Mamadou, not Mamadou too. Thank you.
That was my mistake.
Thank God you accept it.
Yeah.
You say Mamadou when it is Mamadou. Then it was your own mistake, not the IEC.
Not
That's
the
clear.
IEC, exactly.
Let the whole know that.
Exactly.
Okay. Okay. Let's wait for the receipt. So we also correct correct it in our system, in our records. From Mamadou to Mamadou with effect from today.
Thank you.
Mamadou. Yeah. Yeah. No, but we'll change it later. That because you're an initial. Okay. Because you're an initial it.
Okay, let me initial.
Yeah.
Let me change it. You initial.
Initial, yes.
Chairman, let's do the right thing. Let me just go and change it.
Okay.
Let's do the right thing. Let's just change it in 1 minute.
No, but is it far or is it your step? Okay. You just have to change this from Mamadou to Mamadou.
This is the correct one.
Please, please. Thank you.
Mamadou to Mamadou.
Thank you.
Just a minute, huh?
Thank you.
IEC nomination team seated waiting for a correction on the name of the fourth candidate. Instead of Momodu Ba, it should be Mamadou Ba. So that's the correction that is currently going on, and any time from now, the IEC would be done with the correction. And from anywhere you may be watching us, you're reminded that you're watching your only Pan-African TV, coming to you live from the election house in Cardiff East, bringing you all the latest details about the 2021 presidential nominations. It is happening now. It is happening here in Cardiff, and you are witnessing the nomination of the fourth presidential candidate for today. And tomorrow is also expected to be a very interesting day, with the former lead counsel of the TRRC, that's Esa Mbaifal, coming for nominations. Equally as well, the People's Democratic Organization for Socialism and Independence, DOI, that's the party leader, who is not a person but Honorable Halifa Saleh, would also be coming for his nominations tomorrow. Equally as well, tomorrow we're expecting to see the leader of the Gambia Action Party, GAP, Musa Yali Bachiri, who is also expected to come forward to file in his nomination at the IEC. So the last person for tomorrow on the list is Tamsir Jasseh, who is expected to wrap up tomorrow's nomination. It has been a successful nomination since Saturday, and we're still moving on with the nominations, and is expected to come to an end by Friday, God willing. And on Saturday, results are expected to be announced, and candidates will know their fate to know whether they have been nominated or their nominations have failed. So here again, Saturday, we will be giving you updates about the nominations. As we know, all that matters this year is all about the 2021 presidential election, the 2021 presidential race. Others would call it Decision 2021. It's a very important moment for the Gambia now that we're heading towards December 4th, and come December 5th, who knows who is going to be the president-elect for the Republic of the Gambia. So we have very interesting moments ahead to come here against December 5th. And see the IEC team still trying to effect that change on the fourth candidate, whose name is Mamadou Ba instead of Momodu Ba, which is reflected on the IEC nomination calendar. So it's like the chairman and his team has already concluded their. Now we will hand over to them.
The receipt of the document submitted. Of course, they are subject to public scrutiny on Saturday. Thereafter, I'll communicate with you. Good luck and God bless.
Thank you, Uncle. Thank you so much.
The letter to Mamadou Ba indicating that he has received his documents successfully, and he will equally be waiting patiently here against the 6th of November on Saturday to know his fate. And anytime from now, he is also expected to face the media for a short press conference as previous candidates did. We saw the last candidate, who was the leader of the Citizens Alliance Party, Dr. Ismail Cisse, a former university lecturer, and he made very interesting points with regards to the Gambia's development. And now let's hear from Mamadou Ba, the fourth candidate for today, who has already.
Yes, IEC is well organized because they already highlighted the issues that you need to bring in when you are coming for the nomination, which I went through the list, and all the things that we are That's all things that were asked. We are able to meet them today. Let me tell you one thing. When you are in a struggle, you don't only look at the end point, you have to look at the starting. And then my objective in this country is to empower the young people. So when you are empowering the young people, you have to go along with the young people. And then December 4th, 5th, we are going to the state out with the young people. I'm not going alone, I'm going with you guys.
Mr. Ba, can you please tell us the first spelling of your name? Because there was some
my name is my name is spelled M-A-M-A-D-O-U, Ba, not M-O-M-O. I think that was not from the IEC, that was from our mistake and it's impacted by the IEC. Yes, I am open to work with anybody, any Gambian that is ready, but especially the young people. We are ready to work with the young people and we are available. I am available for the young people to work with any party that is ready to push the objective of the young people, to put the young people in, to engage young people and make them engage in this country. Any party that is ready to do that, I am available. If you are not, forget about it. There is no party in this country. My first 100 days in office, I'm going to review the government policy and program because we already have a government in place. We're going to review that. And then focus on the young people. There's no government, there's no party that is talking about the back way. A lot of people are dying on the back way. No government and no political party is talking about the Gambia-Senegal border. You can see a lot of people have been arrested dealing in this drug. And then my first 100 days in office, I'm going to, together with the Senegalese government, we're going to have a long fence between Gambia and Senegal so that the drug smugglers will never engage our young people in drug trafficking. We have a government, this is a government, we're going to work with, that's why I told you in consultation with Gambia, Senegalese government, we're going to have a committee responsible for this. A government cannot go alone, a government has to work with stakeholders, and I definitely ready to work with all stakeholders in this country. That's what I'm saying. When you have a fence, no drug in the country, security is that. You cannot have the security every corner. They have families, they need to rest. Every day they're running, patrolling. We need to put a fence there so that only the customers' drug will not come in this country. My first 100 days, I'm going to look at the salaries. Gambians have to be paid salary. You cannot be giving Gambian stipend and you say you are paying the salaries. This is, we're going to look at that. People have to be given salaries so that corruption will be filtered in this country. If people are given good salary, people will own a home, own a car, and then nobody will engage in corruption. You cannot give $1,000 and you say you have to do the right thing, and you are not doing the right thing. This is Obama in the Gambia going to put up a fence between the Gambia and Casamas. We cannot continue collecting their drug in our country.
If you come to office, how is the relationship going to be between you and the church?
I was a journalist when the mic was very dangerous. I was in Tranga FM as a journalist. All the people that are running today, they were not, nobody will ever see them. They were outside running, hiding their head. We are in Tranga FM when the mic was very difficult. The journalists have to be respected. If you are not respected, you respect yourself because you cannot be making us popular when people don't respect you. Journalists are very important in this country. This is why I always say Fatu Kamara or Fatu Network, Panderi of Freedom newspaper, and Tranga FM. These people should be celebrated in this country because when 2016 I am standing here as an independent candidate because the environment is friendly and these people participated in making that environment very friendly. You people should be celebrated. If you are not celebrated, celebrate yourself. If you are not celebrated, celebrate yourself. Thank you.
All right, Mamadou Ba there speaking to the journalists after presenting his nomination papers to the Independent Electoral Commission. So instead of Mamadou Ba, it's Mamadou Ba. That has been rectified finally. Like he said, it's a mistake from his own people, not from the IEC. Like he mentioned, you heard him explaining there to journalists. So he has spoke to the media and spoke on some of the issues or concern he have as far as his interest or intent to run for the presidency is concerned. And he spoke about the young people as well, like we heard from the Citizen Alliance, leader. And interestingly, he I think he's a journalist, and like he said, and he used to work for Teranga FM, and he have also spoke for the first time for the welfare of journalists. I think there's a welcoming news for the media fraternity, I have to say. He said the journalists have to be respected, and I think that is definitely something, I think, something that lacks in this country. But, you know, I think probably if he comes as a president, he's going to look at that. But that is his own opinion with regards to the situation of journalists as far as he is concerned. But he also talked about the issue of backway, that is also about the young people, and he talked about the Senegal-Gambia border. He said he's going to engage the Senegalese government so they can build a fence between the Gambia and the Casamance border, so that the drugs that are coming into the country can be controlled. So this is very, very important. I think Usman is on the line. Let's go back to the IEC and talk to him so he can tell us more of what Mamadou Ba had to say shortly after presenting his papers. Usman, thank you again for coming on the line. And we just had Mr. Ba there. He presented his nomination papers to the IEC officials, and therein he spoke to the media and highlighted some very pertinent issues of his concern, including the young people, the backway syndrome, and of course, he talked about journalist welfare also in this country. What can you tell us about that?
Absolutely right, Amadou. As you rightly mentioned, he is very concerned about the welfare of youth in the country, as official figures project that more than 60% of the Gambia's population is made out of youth. So Mr. Mamadou Ba is projecting that when elected into office come December 5th, he will make sure that youth are given more priority in the country in order to make sure that the backway syndrome is something that is that comes to an end. Not only that, but equally as well promoting youth empowerment in the country. This is one area he is very concerned about. Equally as well, Mr. Ba made mention of the smuggling of drug into the country from southern Senegal, which is a Casamance. According to him, when elected into office, he will erect a fence between the Gambia and the Casamance to make sure that illegal smuggling of drug into the country is something that is avoided, so that youth of the country can equally as well desist from this. So he is very concerned about youth development, and this is his take on the youth. Amadou.
Yes, talking about the erection or building of a fence, that's the Donald Trump style there, but it's quite very interesting by the way. And yeah, he said he's open to work with other political parties, depending that they are putting the interests of the youth first. That's quite very interesting.
Indeed, interesting. He also made a mention of that. He is willing to work with any political party in the country if they are also willing to work with youth, if they are willing to empower youth in the country. This is one thing he is very concerned about. And I think in as much as he is making such statements about youth in the country, it's important for you to know that youth are very important in any nation towards the development of any country. And the Gambia is one. I believe today our youthful population should be well harnessed. If it is well harnessed, if governments create the space for youth to be empowered, for youth to own their own businesses, to work in the government and other areas, it would promote employment rather than allowing it to be the opposite.
Indeed, and like I said, I think probably this would be, I don't know, is it a welcoming news to the media fraternity? He spoke about the journalist, like I mentioned earlier. He said he was a journalist. Of course, I think once a journalist, you're always a journalist, as the saying goes. So being a journalist, of course, when things were difficult, he used to work at Teranga FM, and he said journalists in this country should be celebrated. And it appears we are saying the contrary, apparently, in this country. So he thinks maybe more need to be done to support the media fraternity in the Gambia.
Indeed, that is very important. That is why the media fraternity is called the fourth estate in every state, mostly in democratic states. Aside from the executive, the parliament, the judiciary, the media becomes the fourth estate. The role of the media cannot be overemphasized, and journalists are a part of the key drivers of the media. They go to every corner of the country just to make sure that the public is provided with information, relevant information that would benefit them, which is very crucial. So the media is a key component of development, because they're also there to empower the public, because it's all about the people. We have to remember that is why the 16th president of America would always define democracy as the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. So the people are very important, and this is the time of the people. This is the time when they show their power. This is when the electorates show their discretion by electing their leader. This is very important, and these moments are very crucial moments for the Gambia's democracy, as many will put it, the new Gambia, as they would say.
Well, I think the onus lies on the journalists to change the status quo. Like he says, we're not celebrating, why not celebrate it, why not celebrate ourselves? But that is what he says, or that I said, that is his opinion with regards to the situation of journalists in this country. One important area he also touched on is the issue of salaries for civil servants. And I think that's also that is something that I know people are so much concerned of. And yes, I think he have another idea as to how he think the salary concern or issues of this country can be improved to a certain level, because he think Gambian workers deserve better pay, I have to say. Usman, are you there? All right, it looks like we have lost him on the line, but that was important. Thank you very much, Usman, for that update. And Binta, we heard from Mamadou Ba. I nearly say Momodu, but it's Mamadou Ba. So he have filed in his nomination papers and speak to the media. Also, like CA, he talked about the issue of the young people, the backway syndrome, byway. If you're out of the Gambia and you don't know what backway we are talking about the irregular migration issue, challenges. And then also he talked about the smuggling of drugs in the country, and he would build a fence between the Gambia and the Senegalese border of customers, and journalists' welfare, and of course salary of civil servants. So what did you make of his statement or remark after submitting his papers?
If he goes according to what he has said, I think it's going to be very, very important and vital for the country, of course. For the first time, I'm hearing a political aspirant or a presidential aspirant since the start of this nominations talking about journalists, the welfare of journalists. Of course, journalists, like you said, if we are not celebrated, we can celebrate ourselves because we are celebrities. So this is what we can say. And of course, that doesn't mean that he's trying to buy the journalists. Of course, I don't think so. But then it all boils to the fact that journalists need to be respected. They need, because we are doing an honorable job to the nation. Everything that is happening within and outside the country, we make sure we bring it to the masses so that they will understand.
And in some quarters, it lacks in some quarters the respect of journalists. We have to, so not everywhere, but in some quarters in this country, that's definitely a concern.
Yeah, so people think journalists are just out there to play, or they are just doing this or doing that. I think our work is beyond that, and we have a very big responsibility. If you don't know, we have a very big challenges, or we have challenges also equally. He talked about the youth. Of course, we know the population in the Gambia, I think, we can say is led by youth. At least 60% of the population of the Gambians are youth. And if you look into the welfare of these youth, I think, like I said before, the crime rate of the country will be reduced to at least 0%. And he talked about also fencing between Senegal and Gambia. I don't know how he is going to achieve that.
At the Casamance border, he said,
yes,
this is the southern part of Senegal.
Yeah.
Because of the drug issue, he is concerned of that.
Well, it's achievable. Let's not deny that.
Donald Trump's style. He promised to build a wall between America and Mexico, I think, but it was never possible. So I just don't know.
So that's why I'm saying everything is achievable. So let us not rule it out. It's possible he can be. He has his own plans in doing that. Of course, he talked about the salaries for civil servants, which is very also important.
Yeah, salary increment.
You know, salary increment and
the level of pay.
They deserve that. They need to have a decent salary so that the corruption also will come down.
Can be minimized.
Yeah. So these are very, very important things that he.
All right, we should be saying goodbye at the half-hour mark. So we have about 2-3 minutes to say goodbye. Just quickly sum it up in Mandinka before we finally say bye-bye till tomorrow, inshallah.
Mbadingol mbalbe konton na kotake mba falali ko albe Eyeafrica le jibe kan hani fo bi andon to lebe siri ngale jang. Abe damin tentin na Mamadou Baleje instead of Mamadou Ba ko Mamadou Balem, so you rectify le IEC yala kaytol de IEC la ya itande IEC ko la jele andu yala kaytol tale of course sanga pareta le bira pareta ni journalist sol diamuta ani journalist sol be kacala wato bina ko nata mansa kunda lafta min jela wala mu nyinti ko abe molmin yalla ko wala youth solte abe wala empower la pour que makoy ke sembentu yakaje ko yedo ko soto andu ye bosilolu ka ay do fanan fami yalla ko tata journalist la karola ko ma be journalist fanan sembentu yalla because niaje journalist la ko man tra sembentu yare bake ni bankoto tombela minto nyentuma la minto according to ate minfo ay la do fanan fami tata Senegal fanan ni amoy Casamance ne Gambia tema fanan pour ka fenso lo moleji min tata drokol la karola ni sira len fengol pour kana dum banko kan ay wo fanan fo jele na taman sakunda be nyin kere ay salary fanan na ko fo min yalon ko wolem civil servant la salary ti pour ka lafa nata ka ke president oti bari ay kuma kelin fo min yalon ko aya sene yandi bake akama balan coalition la andum amam balan pour anim modul o parti dole do ko ke bari dum parti o parti la anay do ko ke anyanta funding kel tala ay ke nyaato nay funding kel ke nyaato ning alasant anem parti o be do ko ke la bari nam nim parti o mi yalon ko funding kel la ko man trañ laring ibulum ani wo party wote do ko kala ay nyim ko mo senende.
All right, tabaraka baraka Binta, thank you very much, and this is how much we got time for today, and thank you very much to all our viewers as well. Jërë ngeen jëf ci ni ngeen ànd ak ñun depuis suba ba léegi xam naa ne gis ngeen mbir mi num of course tëddee tey depuis suba ñu nag yéen la woon ci li nga xamante ne mooy ci nomination ñu fàttali rek ne tey Mamadi KS Camara moom moo ubbi nomination si suba, then GDC Mama Kande moom moo ci topp, of course Citizen Alliance ñoom tamit ñëw nañ ànd ak Dr. Ismaila Cissé, den Mamadou Ba moom moo tëj yëf yi léegi suba inshallah ñu ngi sentu PDOIS mooy doy seen parti bi Halifa Sallah moom la ñu war a gunge suba mu ñëw GAP xam ngeen Gambia Action Party ñoom tamit suba la ñu war a ñëw ci niñ ko waxee den Tamsir Jasseh moom independent candidate la ñoom tamit suba la war a ñëw pour nomination, so ñetti ñooñu ñoo war a ñëw inshallah balaa ñoo dugg si alxamis bi nga xamante ne tamit am na ñeneen ñu war a ñëw. Su ko defee ñu gërëm leen bu baax ci ni ngeen di ànd ak ñun saa su ne waaye tamit ci safo bi ak kóolute bi di leen wax jërë ngeen jëf di jox leen rendez-vous ba suba inshallah. Thank you very much and bye bye.